In 1985, while dating actress Grace Jones, co-star of the 14th 007 film, the physically imposing and martial arts proficient Dolph Lundgren got a small debut role as a KGB henchman in Roger Moore's final Bond film, A View to a Kill. However, later that year, Lundgren would go on to experience great success in a more prominent role as Ivan Drago in Rocky IV. And in 1987, Lundgren managed to secure a leading role as He-Man in the live-action adaptation of the popular Mattel action figure and Filmation cartoon series, Masters of the Universe. Unfortunately, the film was a box office flop and failed to reinvigorate the brand. Masters of the Universe didn't give Lundgren's career the boost it had the potential to give him, but that didn't stop his momentum, as he went on to star in many feature films, peaking with Universal Soldier. Personally, I feel that Masters of the Universe is highly underrated and has many redeeming qualities. Mad About Superheroes presents Retro Review, Masters of the Universe. On the planet Eternia, at the center of the universe, Skeletor's army has seized Castle Grayskull and captured the Sorceress of Grayskull. He plans to exploit the hidden power of Grayskull and rule the galaxy. The remaining Eternian defenders are scattered and outnumbered. Among them are Eternia's greatest warrior and Skeletor's arch-enemy, He-Man, veteran soldier Man-at-Arms, and his daughter Teela. They attack a unit of Skeletor's troops and rescue an inventor and locksmith named Gwildor, who takes them to his home and tells them Skeletor has stolen his newest invention, a cosmic key that can open a portal to any point in time and space. Skeletor used it to breach Castle Grayskull, but Gwildor still has a prototype. When Skeletor's forces arrive seeking it, He-Man and company escape with the device through a secret passageway directly to Grayskull. At Grayskull, they are ambushed by Skeletor and his troops. In desperation to flee, Gwildor uses the key to randomly open a gateway, which happens to lead just outside Whittier, California. The key is lost upon their arrival, and they split up to find it.
Good journey.
Good journey.
Good journey.
Meanwhile, in Whittier, two teenagers, Julie Winston and Kevin Corrigan, discover the key and start pressing its buttons. This allows Skeletor's second-in-command, Evil Lynn, to trace the signal to Earth. She sends a unit of bounty hunters to recover it, consisting of Shroud, Blade, Beastman, and Karg.
A curious quartet.
With He-Man and the bounty hunter seeking to obtain the same object, their paths inevitably cross, with Julie and Kevin, along with a hard-nosed police detective, Lubick, are caught in the crossfire. He-Man and Julie become fast friends, and she vows to help them in their quest to free the Sorceress and save Eternia. With Earth as their new battleground, He-Man and company must ensure the safety of two worlds by defeating the evil Skeletor and his troops before it's too late. Though fans of the Masters of the Universe cartoon are treated to live-action versions of He-Man, Man-at-Arms, Teela, the Sorceress, Skeletor, Evil Lynn, and Beastman, due to budget concerns and special effects limitations at the time, the popular character Orko, featured in the Filmation animated series, was replaced with the more cost-effective Gwildor.
Gwildor, hurry!
Yes, yes.
Come on!
I don't like adventures.
The characters Shroud, Blade, and Carb were created so Mattel would have new toys to sell upon the film's release. A comic book adaptation was also produced by Marvel to coincide with the film's release. I remember purchasing this issue from a newsstand as a teenager and was confused by the fact that the likenesses of the actors weren't used, or the sets and costumes from the movie weren't utilized. Instead, they lazily resemble their cartoon counterparts. That said, the Masters of the Universe comic book adaptation is still a fun companion piece to the film, and one I actually still own and revisit often, much like the film on which it's based. Though visually stimulating, the action in the film is very cartoonish. Robots resembling Star Wars stormtroopers were added so a high level of fatalities could be achieved without having to deal with the repercussions of death in a PG-rated film. The more effective action scenes are the well-choreographed sword fights, first between He-Man and Blade, and later between Skeletor and He-Man. The final battle is further enhanced with a special lightning effect as their swords clash, an inventive visual representation of both combatants' awesome power.
Skeletor. It's over.
The original script for Masters of the Universe featured a more Eternia prominent story, which would have been preferable, but was downplayed due to the film's budget. Instead, the cliché fish-out-of-water scenario is inserted, and He-Man, Man-at-Arms, and Teela end up earthbound, in the company of a young couple amidst teenage melodrama. Many enthusiasts of the He-Man cartoon series were displeased by the film's altered look of the characters, lack of Eternia, the absence of Battle Cat, Orko, and He-Man's alter ego, Prince Adam. I felt the same way to a certain extent, but was happy to have a live-action interpretation regardless. After all, the mini-comic that accompanied the He-Man action figure was more barbaric in origin, which was vastly different from the cartoon series, which was more sci-fi and kid-friendly, and the DC comic that was published was darker in tone and much more violent. So personally, I was more accepting than others of the film's changes. Though limited, the special effects in the film are impressive for the most part. The set designs and costumes are nicely crafted, but the film's crowning achievement is the makeup effects used to transform Frank Langella into Skeletor. Though the makeup is essential, it's Langella's Shakespearean caliber performance that brings Skeletor to life. Langella's Skeletor rivals Max von Sydow's Ming the Merciless in the 1980s Flash Gordon film.
Kneel before your master! Fool! You are no longer my equal! I am more than man! More than life! I...
The second contender for most entertaining without a doubt goes to Meg Foster's devilishly clever performance as Evil Lynn. Her naturally beautiful, vibrant blue eyes are a perfect fit for the wicked sorceress. The shared dialogue and chemistry between her and Langella are the best scenes in the film. James Tolkien's no-nonsense portrayal of Detective Lubick is a nice nod to classic cinema's tough guy cops. Even in the face of bizarre occurrences out of the realm of his comprehension, his machismo carries him through every situation. Robert Duncan McNeil gives an energetic performance as Kevin and is evenly matched by the adorable Courtney Cox's enthusiastic performance as Julie. An all too obvious attempt to add comedy relief as well as a kid-friendly element to the film is Gweldor, portrayed by Billy Barty. Doing the very best with what he's given, Barty transcends the silly dialogue with pure likability. The lovely Chelsea Fields excels at portraying Teela as a tough, independent female.
Anyway, it sounded like you needed a woman's touch out here. Woman at arms.
John Cipher is excellent as the seasoned war veteran Man-at-Arms. Cipher's delivery of old war stories and tactical advice is pitch perfect. In his first starring role hot off the success of Rocky IV, Dolph Lundgren has the good fortune of being in the esteemed company of an ensemble of experienced talent, which slightly elevates his performance. Though he fits the part's physical attributes of his action figure counterpart, He was unfortunately a bit green at the time.
Surrender your sword.
He-Man, no!
Tila, I have no choice. This is our fight. I don't want innocent people to die.
Well said, He-Man. How noble.
In the past, Dolph Lundgren expressed feeling silly playing a toy, but has since spoken fonder of the role. However, Frank Langella, who initially took the role because his son was a huge fan of Masters of the Universe, fully embraced his role as Skeletor, and has said he's very proud of the work he put into the character. Masters of the Universe isn't a spectacular film to say the least, but considering the obstacles director Garry Goddard had to overcome for the film to be made, it should be viewed as a major achievement. Having no second unit to rely on, Goddard had to direct the entire film himself, while also dealing with restrictions from the Mattel toy company on the amount of violence for the use of their characters, while also dealing with Dolph Lundgren's accent, which raised concerns that he'd be difficult to understand. Another problem was Cannon's financial woes, which caused the production of the film to shut down before the end battle sequence between He-Man and Skeletor was filmed. Goddard convinced Cannon to allow him to finish the film by offering up a portion of his salary in order to shoot the final showdown. Garry Goddard's perseverance is a prime example of what hard work and determination can accomplish. With the deck stacked against him, he played the hand he was dealt and finished the game. Though Masters of the Universe failed to be a box office success, it's still nostalgic good fun with many endearing qualities. For some, Masters of the Universe remains a guilty pleasure, but there exists a proud few that aren't ashamed to embrace their inner child and shout, Thanks for letting your geek flag fly with Mad About Superheroes. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment down below.